The U.S. Army is undergoing a significant transformation in its rotary-wing aviation capabilities, and one of the most striking developments is the planned reduction in the number of active AH-64E Apache attack helicopters. While the retirement of the older AH-64D model has been expected for some time, the decision to limit the operational AH-64E fleet represents a more nuanced approach to military modernization and resource management. According to recently released budget documents, the number of AH-64Es in active service is set to decline from 408 to 240 by 2026. However, these helicopters are not being retired outright. Instead, they will be transferred to the National Guard. This reassignment ensures that these aircraft will continue to serve in a critical capacity, albeit under a different operational framework. The move reflects a balancing act between maintaining technological superiority and responding to the practical challenges of modern warfare, including cost, vulnerability, and shifting tactical priorities. The reduction in active AH-64E helicopters will be accompanied by a broader reorganization within Army aviation. 11 active air cavalry squadrons and 2 reserve expeditionary combat aviation brigades are slated for disbandment. This restructuring will affect approximately 6,500 full-time personnel over 2026 and 2027, highlighting the human as well as the material dimensions of the Army's strategic recalibration. From a budgetary perspective, this reallocation makes sense. Attack helicopters are among the most expensive assets in the Army's inventory, not only in terms of procurement but also in terms of maintenance, armament, and operational readiness. By transferring some aircraft to the National Guard, the Army retains capability without the overhead of sustaining the full complement of active duty squadrons. This approach also underscores a broader trend in defense planning, where flexibility and cost-effectiveness are increasingly valued alongside sheer combat power. The decision to reduce the number of AH-64Es in active service is informed by more than just fiscal concerns. The evolving character of the battlefield has exposed the vulnerability of even the most advanced helicopters to unmanned aerial systems, UAS. Recent conflicts have demonstrated that helicopters, once considered dominant tools of battlefield mobility and firepower, face significant risks from small, inexpensive drones capable of reconnaissance and precision strikes. The downing of a Russian Mi-8 helicopter in a contested environment serves as a stark illustration of this threat. While AH-64Es are equipped with advanced countermeasures and sensor suites, the proliferation of drones and other low-cost technologies challenges the cost-benefit equation of deploying such expensive platforms in high-threat environments. This reality has forced military planners to reconsider the optimal employment of attack helicopters in contemporary conflicts, emphasizing survivability and operational efficiency. Despite these challenges, the AH-64E remains a highly capable platform with diverse applications beyond the high-intensity battlefield. One significant area of utility is in expeditionary operations, particularly for a country like the United States, which frequently projects military power across great distances. The helicopter's mobility, precision firepower, and ability to operate in a variety of terrain conditions make it a valuable tool for rapid response missions, reconnaissance, and limited strike operations. Transferring these aircraft to the National Guard does not diminish their utility, rather, it allows the Army to maintain a strategic reserve of highly capable airframes that can be deployed when needed while reducing the routine operational burden on active duty units. This dual-track approach optimizes readiness and ensures that the AH-64E remains relevant even as the Army adapts to new threats and fiscal constraints. Another emerging role for AH-64Es lies in counter-drone operations, a mission set gaining prominence in recent years. Both Ukraine and Russia have demonstrated the potential of UAS in modern warfare, highlighting the need for specialized anti-drone capabilities. Attack helicopters, equipped with advanced sensors and precision weapons, can serve as mobile platforms for neutralizing drone threats. This application extends beyond land-based missions, as helicopters can also support maritime operations in coordination with naval assets. The flexibility of the AH-64E platform allows it to adapt to these novel threats, turning what was once a vulnerability into a potential operational advantage. Such adaptability is crucial in an era where technological innovation and asymmetric threats continually redefine the parameters of combat. The broader implications of the Army's helicopter restructuring extend to other rotary-wing programs as well. The UH-60 Black Hawk fleet is undergoing a selective reduction and modernization. The older UH-60L variant will see a dramatic decrease in active service numbers, dropping from 162 to just 4 units. In contrast, the newer UH-60M is expanding from 338 to 393, and the CH-47F Chinook fleet will grow from 156 to 172. This selective approach indicates a deliberate strategy. The Army is not abandoning rotary-wing capability but rather optimizing it. By focusing resources on more modern and versatile platforms, the Army can maintain operational readiness while minimizing exposure to outdated and potentially vulnerable aircraft. This modernization strategy also allows the Army to better align its aviation assets with current and future combat requirements, ensuring that helicopters continue to provide a competitive edge without imposing unsustainable costs. The decision to reassign AH-64Es to the National Guard also reflects broader trends in military force structure. In an era characterized by hybrid warfare and the proliferation of low-cost technologies, militaries worldwide are grappling with how to balance capability, risk, and cost. The National Guard provides a mechanism to preserve valuable assets without committing them to constant active duty operations. In this sense, the AH-64E fleet becomes a strategic reserve that can be activated for emergencies, homeland defense, or expeditionary missions, effectively extending the service life and operational relevance of these helicopters. By maintaining a trained cadre of pilots and support personnel within the National Guard, the Army ensures that the skills and experience associated with the AH-64E remain available when needed, further enhancing the overall flexibility and resilience of the force. It is also worth noting the implications for future combat doctrine. As unmanned systems and advanced air defenses continue to evolve, manned attack helicopters may increasingly serve in complementary roles rather than as the primary strike asset. This shift does not reduce their importance but instead reshapes how they are employed. The AH-64Es advanced sensors, targeting systems, and precision weapons make it ideal for specialized missions that require rapid, coordinated, and highly mobile firepower. In combination with drones, electronic warfare assets, and ground forces, these helicopters can contribute to a layered, networked approach to combat that maximizes effectiveness while mitigating risk. In this context, transferring some aircraft to the National Guard represents not a loss of capability but a realignment that preserves strategic options. Ultimately, the planned reduction of active AH-64E Apaches reflects the complexities of modern military planning. Balancing cost, capability, and survivability requires careful consideration of both current threats and future operational needs. The transfer of these helicopters to the National Guard ensures that the Army retains access to some of its most advanced rotary-wing platforms while reducing the burden of maintaining a full active-duty fleet. It also underscores the ongoing need to adapt to evolving threats, including the growing role of drones and other asymmetric technologies on the battlefield. While the reduction may appear dramatic at first glance, it represents a strategic effort to optimize resources, preserve critical capability, and maintain flexibility in an unpredictable global security environment. In the coming years, the AH-64E will likely continue to play a crucial role in both conventional and unconventional missions, demonstrating that modernization is not merely about acquiring new technology but also about using existing assets in smarter, more effective ways.